defensively, I mean, you guys had a great game last week. Besides, one or two drives. What was going so well for you guys? As this once again open, I guess you can all answer it. But defensively, what was I guess the
Go ahead, Phils.
I'll go first. I just felt our game plan going into the week was really well. To limit the quarterback from his movement, and when he does roll out and when he does scramble, just to kind of everyone go find their man. And another game plan that we had was to really blitz him and get after him, which is what I felt was great for us, and that's how we got the early interception and those sacks and those fumble recoveries.
For me, I think we did a lot better on third down. I think that was one of our goals going in, is to be better on third down. Definitely want to create more turnovers. I think we did a good job of that. We had a couple fumble recoveries and an interception. So, I mean, we obviously got to do better on third downs and keep continuing to get 3 and outs and turnovers.
Tyler, offensively, you guys did move the ball. You had the one great drive right after the half. Again, got into the red zone a couple of times and didn't get 6, got 3. Those are things that we need to get. We need to get the ball in the end zone for 6 points. That changes the whole ball game.
Yeah, it does. And, when you get to those critical situations, that's when more and more you rely on, guys stepping up and making the play is what it is. And we as coaches need to do a better job of allowing our guys to make those plays and put them in the right situations. And so that's something we've talked about a lot the past couple of days is how can we create those opportunities so the guys can, in fact, go out and make that play for us. We just haven't found like that right chemistry, I guess you could say, in the red zone, and we certainly need to find it. I mean, we're into week 4 now. We need to find it now.
One other question on offense. Isaiah got his first start as a true freshman last week. Grade him. You're going to get freshman mistakes, but grade his performance last week against Concordia.
I thought he did a nice job managing the game. I don't think he tried to do anything too excessive. I felt like he took care of the ball early on in the game. I felt like he had confidence in the huddle and confidence in what we were doing. For him to progress and go forward, he's got to push the ball down the field a little bit more, particularly on early downs, so it's not so challenging on third down. And then again, just experience and game reps really goes a long way. So I think that'll also help him improve and aid him going forward. But again, I think he's a good talent, and I think he's got some ability, and he can be a good player for us down the line.
So will he start for you this weekend at Augustana?
Well, so he is listed as our starter right now. Yeah, that's the direction we've been going with. We'll see how it all comes together here as the week goes on.
One thing you've said a couple of times after a few different games is that one thing that you're looking for to your team is recognizing, situations where you can take your chances, situational football, and knowing when to seize your opportunities. That was something that I think you've been frustrated by in these few games here. Are you starting to see signs of improvement of that? Or I guess is it only going to come down to game time where you start seeing the progress in that regard?
Yeah, no, we have. And I think both Marcel and Trevin touched on that earlier in terms of, we had called some early pressures in the game. The guys capitalized on that and forced some turnovers early. Third down was a big point of emphasis for us heading into Concordia, that we needed to get better on third down. And also present some 3 and outs. And so we had 5 3 and outs defensively, which was great. 2 of those drives ended in turnovers, and then we were 4 of 13 overall defensively on third down. So we saw some progress, and that's one of the main areas where I wanted to see it. It's still collectively as a team we need to be better than that, but that's one area that did elevate, and this kind of journey here that we're on is just about getting steady and constant improvement, and that's a good step the way our defense played on third down this past week.
Tyler, all coaches talk about the 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. You gave up the kickoff return. You lost Aaron for a portion of the game because of an injury. I think that bore out how big and how important special teams are to a football game.
Yeah, they are. And, for us in the kicking game, we've been okay as the season had started. The first couple of ball games, we weren't great, we weren't bad. On Saturday, a couple of critical errors in the kicking game that really cost us. We had given up the touchdown, and then we had also had a roughing the punter on, late in the third quarter, which really kind of changed the momentum of the game. And so, the kicking game is huge, and we emphasize that often, like within our program, and it's something we got to get better at. I feel like that's one of those kind of one of three like unifying areas amongst our whole team. The special teams, recruiting is another because all coaches and all players are working together on that. And then in our weight room, it's the only time every player from every corner of the locker room is together. And so I think that's like great football teams have great special teams because their team has really learned how to come together and play together. And so that's something, of course, we're still working towards.
One last question for you. Aaron's status for this week, what was the injury?
He had pulled a groin, and he's questionable.
Okay.
We'll see how he goes.
Okay.
How's the game plan coming along for this weekend, Coach, and what might we see on Saturday?
Well, we're midstream in terms of where we're at in the practice week. And, yesterday was a really, really great Tuesday practice. Well, on Tuesday for us, it's a full padded practice. We were first down, second down, introduced some basics in the kicking game. So we had a really good practice yesterday in all three phases. I felt like our players, we had talked about coming out there being a giver, not a taker. And what we mean by that is they bring the energy and the attitude to practice, and they're not waiting for somebody else to give them a pick-me-up. And I felt like our players really did a nice job with that and got practice going and got right after it. So in terms of the game plan, Augustana is a really good football team. They provide a variety of challenges in all three phases. They're an aggressive team. They're well coached. We needed that type of practice to match their intensity, which we're certainly going to see on Saturday.
And for you two players, I'm just wondering, what have you seen so far out of the Augustana personnel that you look and see, all right, well, this guy might be weak here, so we might be able to capitalize in different areas?
Well, for the secondary standpoint, they have really good receivers. They have two really, really top receivers that they like to get the ball to. One had a great game against St. Cloud, and the other one has had, three really good games. So we're just trying to key on them and, just make sure that, our secondary's ready to stop them.
Trevin, what do you see from their quarterback? He's pretty athletic. He can run the football, and he can throw, so he's multidimensional. What do you see from their quarterback?
He's a great player. He'll be the fastest quarterback we've gone against. We just got to play discipline, play 111 football, which means everybody's got to just do their job. They've also got a really great running back, big dude. We just got to tackle low, wrap up. We got to get 11 halves of the football, pursue, and try to rip that ball out.
And to both of you again, Trevin and Marcel, I think the defense has proved in the last two games alone that you guys are able to generate turnovers. I know, Marcel, you had a pick, and you guys have been forcing fumbles. You forced 3 at Winona State. How important is that going to be winning the turnover battle? Because I think it's, that's probably been a decider in some of these close games that whoever ends up forcing the most turnovers comes out on top. I mean, how do you guys feel about your ability to continue creating turnovers? What needs to continue for you to do that?
Yeah, I feel like we've played great, but it's obviously not good enough. We're all hungry to get more turnovers. We're all hungry to get that win. So we're all trying to do, just play to the best of our ability. I know you guys say, defense has been playing well, and the numbers have shown it, but we still don't have a W. So we obviously need to do better.
Yeah, I agree with that. We obviously got to keep up the turnovers. Usually the team that has the most turnovers usually wins the game, and I think we definitely got to keep up on turnovers. But like I said, we all have to do our jobs. At the end of the day, if someone's not doing their job, we don't get the W. So we just got to stay disciplined and just keep working hard. It's not good enough right now, so just got to keep pushing.
Tyler, one last question I have for you is you've been in 2 of the 3 games. The Winona game got a little bit away from you because of some turnovers, that sort of thing. You could very well be 2-1 right now instead of 0-3. Is this a learning curve that this team, the players, the coaching staff need to learn how to win to get that win?
Well, yeah, this whole operation that we've been a part of, Marcel and Trevin and the rest of the guys in the locker room, the coaches, we're all continuing to go on this path together and learn how to play together, how to win together, how to just do everything to the best of our ability. Just listening to these two guys talk and the way that they grasp what's going on like within our program, I mean, it's clear that we're on the right path. I just think that what we need to do is recognize that there's really a fine line between winning and losing, and we need to know where that line is. And I think there's still a little bit of definition and clarity that we all need to find in that regard. But I think we've got really good football players, and I think we've got some strong character guys in the locker room. I think we've got some really good football coaches that are helping this program kind of drive forward. And so we're close, but we're not right where we need to be quite yet. But we are close, and like I said, I think we've got good football players that are hungry and they work hard, and they're going to allow us to continue to build here at Minot State.